Hey there guys, it's Chips here on SSJ Blue Videos channel here, and today we have for you the Cubic deck profile. Now let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. We have 3 Crimson Novas, the Cubic Lord. You must run him at 3. He is the boss monster of the deck. At the end phase, he does 3k burn damage to both players. It's non-optional, and whenever he destroys a monster by battle, he gets to attack again. And also, he's easy to summon out. All you need is 3 other Cubic cards in your hand with different names. You reveal them and you summon them out. It's not once per turn, so you can summon 3 of them out if it's possible. And he's a level 10, so there's rank 10 stuff we have later for you. Next we have 3 Duzas. You must play 3 Duzas. He is arguably one of the best Cubics in the deck. You just send a Cubic card from deck to grave upon normal or special summon. And it's pretty much what he does, but it's great because you send stuff like Karma, and after you send stuff like Karma or Wave or Unification, you can banish him from grave and do effects and stuff and whatnot. He's also a level 4, so we have some rank 4 shenanigans up for you later. And there is attack boost in effect. It's not all that great, but if you gain so much attack for each different Cubic monster in the graveyard, it's not that big of a deal with it, but it's just something. You run 3 VJams. He's not really a part of the whole OTK thingy, but he's good for stuff like Cubic Karma to get its first effect off. Not to mention, most of the Cubic monsters have a second effect revolving around VJam, maybe summoning him on the field and stuff like that. But like you can if he's on the field, opponent's monster shows up at battle, you send it to the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, and you place a Cubic counter on that monster. And whenever a monster has a Cubic counter, its effects are negated and it can't attack. So that's pretty nifty. To like have some problematic monster that kill it. Cubic counter, boom. Gotta get rid of it. That's always nice to do. Next we have 2 Buster Gun Deals. Now you usually won't summon this by its usual effect to get it out. You have to tribute 3 Cubic monsters on the field, or Cubic cards I should say, but you're not really getting that off. If you're summoning this, you're summoning it with Unification, with Cubic Lords, with its grave effect, by banishing it, push summon that. And you want this because it's level 4, so that's kind of nifty. Not to mention, whenever it is, when this card is destroyed or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon VJams, or just Cubic monsters in general, but you're almost always going to summon more VJams onto the field, and that effect goes off. But I guess, you know, you can summon someone like Duza. But yeah, he's pretty nifty when he goes away. But if you do summon him by his normal terms, he's going to be a 3k beat stick, so that's kind of nifty. Also, he's another Cubic name to reveal, so that's why you play him as well. Play 2, what's his name again? Endora, that's right. He's pretty much the same way as Buster Gun Deal. You must tribute 3 dudes to summon him. You don't really use that effect, though. If you do, he's at 24. When he leaves, or when he's destroyed, sent to the graveyard, same thing. You can get out VJams and whatnot. Up to 3. So that's nifty. And he's level 4, so rank 4 stuff. We go on to the next one. Dark Beast Dude. Now, he's also a Cubic name, so that's nice, but you can actually summon this dude by attributing 1 Cubic card in the field, which isn't that big. Now, you're not really going to summon this guy too often, but he's really there for, like, if your life points are, like, really low, and you have one of him on the field, because when he's on the field, his 3k burn damage is not optional, so when you have less than 3k, it'll go off, so you can summon this guy by tributing him, and you'll save yourself for the rest of the turn. But there are ways to get around that as well, so you only run 1 for revealing name, and just summon out for a wall sometimes. Next we have him. Pretty much kind of the same deal here. He needs 2 tributes actually. His attack will go up to 16. It's not a big deal. We don't care about that. Just love his grave effect because he just all the VJams. He summons VJams. we like some of the V-Jams because your opponent can't really attack you. It's really nifty. Next we have play triple Summoner Monks. This is good because to send spell traps to summon, so you can send stuff like Cubic Karma from your hand. Just summon out Duza. And effect of the Karma in Graveyard. Or effect of Duza when he's summoned, you can send a second Karma. And you can banish both of these Karmas to search out Cubic monsters. And then you get to your rank 4s, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Now on to the spells. As we've been talking about, you play triple Cubic Karmas. It's arguably the best spell card in the deck. When it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, add a Cubic monster from your deck to your hand. You usually use it to search out Nova or Duza, because Duza's your playmaker, and he's your boss monster. That's your win condition. Its first effect is kind of neat, I guess. You can activate it, target one Cubic monster you control. You send up to 3 V-Jams from the deck to the graveyard, or from your hand to the graveyard. It gains edge attack for each one, so you can give it a plus 2400. Say if you had this, say if you had your Cubic Lord, activate that, he'd be at 54, he gets attacked twice, that's pretty nifty. But you don't care about that first effect too often. You're just there to get to the graveyard, banish, search out. Next you run 3 Cubic Waves. Now its first effect is amazing. So you target 1 Cubic monster on the field and 1 monster your opponent controls. Half your opponent's monsters attack and double your Cubic monster's attack. So once again, if you have him, use this, target him, he's at 6k. And then target someone else, they're at halved. He gets attacked twice, he's 6k beat stick, and he does burn damage during the end phase. And here's what I like to do. I like to summon him out, activate a Cubic Karma. He'd be at 54. Activate Cubic Wave. He has 10,800 attack. He gets attacked twice, and he does 3k burn damage at the end phase. If you get that combo off, you will. That's pretty much guaranteed victory. That's a 10k beat stick that gets attacked twice and does 3k burn damage at end phase. If you're at that point, you really shouldn't have lost the duel there. If you did, you deserved it because you didn't win. Don't know why. And its second effect is alright. You can banish this along with any number of Cubic cards in your graveyard. Or Cubic monsters, my bad. And place Cubic counters on the field, as many monsters you banished with it. And, yeah, monsters and Cubic counters, as we talked about earlier. They negate the monster's effect and they can't declare attack. So if it's late game, you got some Cubic monsters in the graveyard, do that, and your opponent can't do anything with their board. It's pretty nifty. Next we run triple Foolish Burial with Goods. You must be playing this. This is how you send cards like Cubic Karma or Unification of the Cubic Lords to the graveyard. You have Dudes as well, but this really helps out. So you just send Spell Trap to the graveyard, then like you send stuff like Cube Karma, then you get to search. It's always a thing you want to do in the deck. Run that to do that. You run triple Fusion Conscription to search out your Crimson Lord more often. Mimic the Fusion monster, reveal this. Add him from deck or grave, which the grave part is actually really neat because sometimes your Lord will hit the graveyard, and then if it does and you can't really pull this off, which actually fusion summons the big dude, and if we get to here, it's pretty much GG. So you can get it back to graveyard to keep that option viable. Next we play 2 Pot of Desires for draw. This deck does do a good bit of searching and milling, but you need some draw power in here. Pot of Desires is your best option, really. And it won't really interfere with your combos and all that. And we have Hand Destruction. This is an iffy card, but you usually like to send these kind of cards. Send like Cubic Karmas in your hand, just to get them out of your hand. Like Summer Monk will do that too. But if you haven't drawn a Summer Monk, you can do that. Ditch these two, draw 2 cards, and search out. But you can replace this with something else if you want to. I just haven't really found anything really better. 2 MSTs. Personally, I guess you can swap it off with Twin Twisters. But MST ain't bad either. I just like having a free Spell and Trap Destruction for no cost. That's always a nice thing for me. So there's 2 MSTs for just back row hate. I like to have back row hate somewhere in my decks. 2 Call by the Graves. We hate Ash Blossom. Kubik's Ash Blossom is its worst nightmare. Ash Blossom and draw and Lockbird. I mean, that's a problem for every deck, but this deck draws, searches, and sends stuff to graveyard a whole lot to get its combos off. So you want that to make sure no hand traps interfere with any of your plays. Now let's move on to the extra deck. Now for rank 4s, as we talked about, run 3 Gaga Cowboys. Tend to turn that down to 2 or 1. You don't really need 3 per se, but you know, 3 ain't bad either. So it's 800 burn damage. This deck does a lot of burn damage with this fella right here. A lot of burn and battle at the same time. So just having that, if your opponent was like that much away from dying that turn, summon Cowboy and do 800 for game. You're on 2 number 50s. Battleship, or Black Ship of Corn. It's alright. I mean, you probably summon Cowboy over it most of the time, but because it has to target the monster. Okay, so what it does is you detach a card, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, burn your opponent for 1,000. Burn for 1,000 ain't bad, but you have to target the monster. So some monsters can't be targeted, of course, in this game. So Cowboy may just be your better option. But hey, if it can be, if there's a monster on board that can be targeted, go ahead and target, destroy it, and you burn your opponent for 1,000. Not bad at all. You're on 2 Baguskas. For all them times where you don't have a way to summon them out yet, that or if you're really close to making the fusion dude, it's like, oh man, I want to make him because I'm really close to that. Then you can like make a rank 4 for Baguska and just have your opponent stall out for about 2 or 3 turns until you get into your combo for your fusion play. That or if you brick and you just need something to defend yourself for a few turns. Of course, more rank 4s, you have 1 number 39 Utopia, along with the whole number 39 Utopia Prime into Utopia Lightning. So that's just standard, like, okay, if your monster is pretty big, let's make that for a 5k beat stick to get over everything. Now, he can do that pretty well too, but sometimes you can't get his attack any higher than what it is. Like, Cubic Wave, Cubic Karma can do that, but if you don't have it, rank 4 into that. Also, not to mention, if he's not even on the field, can't even make him that turn, do that so you can actually get over beat sticks. Next, we have Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. It's an alright card, it's just that just to get like extra attack, damage. Just for pretty much the same thing as him. Utopia play, like it's got a big beat stick, just like absorb it, punch over it. I'm a sucker for big stuff like that. Evil Storm Extinction Knight, it's off the ban list! Oh yeah! So, you know how this guy works. For those who don't, detach once per chain. During your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can detach material, board wipe the field. But it's only if your opponent controls more cards than in their hand and field than you do. So you gotta remember that part. So you can't always get this off. Which is why it kind of got off the ban list. But it's arguably one of the best rank 4s we have in the game. Now to those rank 10s I've been talking about. So a cool thing with this deck is if you control 2 Cubic Lords, if I can find the second one here, right here. Control 2 of them, they do a lot of damage, like they do 6k at the end phase. If you still have them, you can exit for that and just GG, that's game. Because that's a total of 8k right there. But sometimes you do that, burn them for 2k, they're still alive for some reason. You can go into him and just have a little defensive and offensive at the same time plays going on here. I'm excited for that new rank 10 train coming out here in a few months or so. Definitely put that in the deck. Yeah, just run that. Pretty nifty. Can't be destroyed, really. Next we have the Fusion Monster. Oh my. If you summon this guy, you shouldn't lose. When he attacks, half your opponent's life points. That is such a big deal in this deck. Because you do that, because you already do a lot of damage in this deck in the first place. So if your opponent has anything left, that really puts him down a lot. And if you short a monster by battle, you can attack again. Also, your opponent can't touch him. Pretty much. Let me make sure. Yeah, it can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So, no battle chips you have to worry about. Just go in there, half your opponent's life points. And he is at 45. That is a big boy. And especially when we have our Cubic Wave, then he becomes a 9k beat stick that gets attacked twice and halves your opponent's life points upon each attack. That's no joke. And once again, if you do Karma along with that, he gains 24. So 45 plus 24, that is 69 points of damage. Double that, you have 12,000 and 1,800 points of damage. GG, mate. It attacks twice and halves your opponent's life points. That's game. That's it for the extra deck, and that is it for the Cubic deck profile. Make sure to comment down below, like, give a little subscribe as well, and we'll see you in the next video.